Title: In my wife's purse I found a plaster cast of another man's Johnson. I didn't plan to open her purse that night. I only meant to grab the car keys she claimed to have lost. But the moment my fingers brushed the small gift box buried beneath the receipts and makeup, something in me went still, like the pause between a lightning flash and the thunder that follows. Inside sat a plaster cast of another man's dick, perfectly smooth, proud, mocking, and the note, God, the note. This will remind you of a real man, which you've never had. My pulse didn't jump, my breathing didn't spike. I just sat there in the silence of our kitchen, realizing the marriage I spent 12 years protecting had already burned down behind my back. She left the matchbox. I found the ashes. So I slipped off my wedding ring, still warm from my skin, and dropped it into the box beside that plaster insult. Then I closed the lid like I was sealing a coffin. She wasn't always cruel, or maybe she was, and I was just too in love to see the glaze of contempt hiding in her eyes. We were college sweethearts. Everyone envied us. She used to run to me after class, hair tangled from the wind, laughing like life was a thing we'd devour together. We built a home, or at least I thought we did. Years later, the laughter faded. Her smile stiffened. Nights in bed grew cold, conversations shorter, excuses longer. I trusted her anyway. I trusted her too much. That was my first mistake, but not my last. The plaster cast wasn't the first sign, just the loudest. There were late-night work meetings, weekends with the girls, and the sudden interest in lingerie she didn't wear for me. I kept watching. I kept waiting, not for proof, but for the truth to stop hurting. It never did. The plaster cast was my breaking point, but it was also my turning point. I closed the purse and opened a new version of myself. People think revenge is fire, wild, impulsive. They're wrong. Revenge is cold math. I spent 3 weeks gathering everything I needed: her phone backups, GPS logs, hotel receipts, pictures of her and the man, of course there was a man, taken from the dash cam she didn't know I installed in her car. Financials too. I transferred half our joint savings into a private legal account. Perfectly legal since my name was on it. I met with a divorce attorney, then another, then one more, just to make sure the sword I'd draw was sharp enough to sever her illusions cleanly. I installed a camera in the kitchen smoke detector, the room she used most. I collected every lie she spoke when she thought I wasn't listening. Not a single raised voice, not a single confrontation. She thought she was drifting away from me, but she was drifting right into my trap. The next morning, she stretched lazily in bed, expecting coffee like always. She trained me well, she used to joke. But instead of the warmth of a mug, she got the cold weight of the gift box dropped onto her lap. "Open it," I said. She blinked the sleep away, confused. She lifted the lid. Her face collapsed. Color drained first, then expression, then whatever power she believed she had over me. When she looked up, I didn't raise my voice. I didn't need to. "I found your reminder of a real man," I said, "so here's mine." I placed a stack of documents beside her, each page a nail in her coffin. Texts, photos, dates, hotel addresses, bank statements. Her mouth opened, but no sound came out, only guilt and fear. "I want a divorce," I said quietly, "and I want you out today." She grabbed my wrist, trembling. "Wait, please. We can talk." I pulled away like her touch was poison. There's nothing left to talk about. But that was only phase 1. That afternoon, she went to work. I knew she would. She needed stability to cling to, routine, something she could pretend wasn't falling apart. But I'd already spoken to HR that morning. You see, her affair wasn't just a betrayal, it was with her boss, a man married with 2 children, a man she supervised, a man whose company had strict policies about inter-office relationships. When she walked into the meeting room and saw her boss's wife, the HR director, and 2 board members waiting, she finally understood the scale of what I'd done. She was fired. He was suspended pending investigation. The look on her boss's face has been replaying in my mind like a lullaby. She came home that evening hollow-eyed, mascara streaked, voice unsteady. "What did you do?" she whispered. "Exactly what you deserved." She dropped to the floor, sobbing, begging, offering apologies she never meant when they mattered. I didn't stay to listen. The divorce finalized in record time. Her lawyer advised her not to fight, not after the evidence, the job loss, the exposure. I kept the house, the savings, most of what mattered. She moved into a studio apartment across town. I hear she's working retail now. I don't take pleasure in her suffering, not exactly. But I take peace in knowing justice wasn't loud. It wasn't impulsive, it wasn't messy, it was precise. Cold, clean, satisfying. Just like the silence after thunder. And sometimes, late at night, I think of that plaster cast, the insult that started it all. I hope she kept it. I hope she sees my ring beside it every time she opens the box. A reminder of the real man she never recognized until it was too late.